Hi everyone. So as I promised, I am doing the video on my Facebook advertising. This video is for all of those that were at my Lunch and Learn with SRAR. I'm sorry it took me so long for those of you watching this. I did end up ill right after giving the class and I had no voice. So my voice is back and I'm ready to go. And there was one other company that I'd made a presentation to, and so this is also for them. And I hope this finds you well, and we're going to go through step by step. Now, something that I did not get to cover at the SRAR Lunch and Learn because we ran out of time was friends lists. And friends lists are becoming more and more important, and that's because with all of the changes with Facebook, we're not necessarily popping up in everyone's newsfeed. I have 2,031 friends, so the chances of me popping up in all of their news feeds is a little bit slim to none. Not everybody is going to see what I'm doing. It's really going to be the bulk of people that I communicate with the most, that I comment on, things of that nature. And we really want to make sure that we are keeping in touch with our sphere of influence, okay? So on the left-hand side under Explore is Friends List. And here's what I want to show you. So you can see here that I've created several lists already. You would hit the plus to create a list, and you're going to give the list whatever name you want. You can also start typing people's names, and they will come up, and you could start adding members that way. So if you kind of know off the top of your head some people you want to add to that list, you can just simply start typing their name and adding them to the list. And then, of course, you're going to hit Create. Then you have your list. Now, in order to add people to our lists, you're going to want to see all friends. And this is where you can go individually, friend by friend. So here, this is my cousin, and when I click on where it says friends, you have get notifications, close friends, acquaintances, add to another list. I'm going to click on this and I can add her to as many lists as I want to. So I just added her to my sample list. Then over here, this is my mom, and I'm going to add her to another list. I actually have her on almost all of my lists. I'll add her to realtors. So what you would end up doing is you can go friend by friend and you can add them to all of these specific lists. So now we actually have two great reasons for this. First of all, we can create a post. So I'm going to put the market is hot and we have a shortage of inventory. If you or someone you know is wanting to sell their home, call or text me anytime. And I'm going to put my number. Okay. So right now, this is public. So that means that's just going to post on my profile, and I don't know who's going to see it. For the most part, probably realtors, because that's who I communicate the most with. And I don't want that. I want that to only go to my sphere of influence, because my realtor friends could care less about seeing that. You know, they don't care about seeing that. So I have to put more. It knows that I just created the sample list, obviously, but I can click specific friends. When you click that, a box is going to come up, and you can actually type specific friends that you want to make sure sees a certain post, or you could type a friends list. So obviously I have sphere of influence. I'm going to select that list, save the changes, and I'm going to post. So that particular post, and you can actually hover over this and it lets me know that that has gone to my sphere of influence. There's one cautionary item that I want to let you know. So now I'm going to create another post. I want you to see that Facebook, whether you do it on your phone or your computer, Facebook saves who you last posted to. So since I last posted to my sphere of influence, it keeps it under my sphere of influence. So that's where you want to make sure that prior to making another post, you want to change it over to public. Okay? Now, the other item that I want to show you is if you go back to your friends list, and we are going to click on Sphere of Influence. When I click on Sphere of Influence, this is my custom list, in which case I am going to see everyone who is on my Sphere of Influence. And I'm going to be able to see their posts. So these are all clients. These are people within my Sphere of Influence. And I would be able to see what they're doing, and I can comment. So this is a great opportunity to go within a specific list, and you can communicate with the people on that list and kind of just nurture your contacts and nurture your database and people from your database. So that's the friends list. And then, of course, I wanted to point out the marketplace. So I know some of the coaches have touched on that the marketplace is even beating out eBay as far as users. You know, you have millions upon millions of users on Facebook, and now they're starting to really use the marketplace. This is a great opportunity for you to put your listings on the marketplace. So you can consider that too when you have a listing and putting it on the Facebook marketplace. Now we are going to touch on the Facebook ads. Need to wait for my business page to pop up. There we go. Now, when I had done the training, I like to create my post and then sorry, there was a dog barking. I like to create my post and then do the ad. So this is where you would write your post, you would put whatever photos you want, and you would create your actual post. I have a lot of posts that are here on my page, so I'm going to just go ahead. I'll use this one here that was posted about ways to help your pet adjust after a move. So what we're going to do is you're going to hit the down arrow, and we are going to create an ad. Now, this is also where I get a lot of people that ask me, well, what's the best ad to do? I can't really answer that. If you were to look at some of the Tom Ferry videos, there is a lady that spoke last year at one of his summits, and there's a gentleman that's a big Facebook marketing kind of a guru, and he talks about a unicorn versus a donkey. And so a unicorn is a post that you are doing, it's getting great reception, right? You're getting lots of likes, you're getting lots of shares, you're getting lots of activities, you're getting, you're getting all kinds of traction from that post. That, of course, would be your unicorn. Then a donkey would be, not very many people are liking it. Then what's going to end up happening is Facebook is going to try to rush through getting that ad done, because if it's causing people to get off of Facebook and they're not intrigued by it, then Facebook is going to rush through your marketing budget, where if it's something that's like the unicorn, then Facebook is going to start making it to where it's less money per click, and your budget ends up going over a longer span of time because you're getting a ton of response from that. So you have to look at your analytics, and you need to be able to know what did good and what didn't do good. These last couple posts that I've done actually has been really good. So this particular post here just finished, and This ended up having a ton of traction, and I probably should have extended it, but I chose not to because then I'm going to do something similar to it, and I'm going to actually run that ad for 30 days because it ended up getting some pretty good response to it. So see here, you can see I got the likes, I got the loves, 98 people posted, 98 people actually clicked on it. They were interested and intrigued in what I had to say and what the website was all about. And it had reached 2,908 people. And then I had 44 reactions, comments, or shares. So only 2 people hit it. So that's not bad. So this is something that ended up working really well for me, obviously. And it's something that I would do again. And, you know, once you're able to view that and once you're able to see the analytics, then you can kind of get some momentum going and you'll know what kind of posts that you should do in the future versus what kind of posts were complete flops. And I had a few that just had nothing. And so it's kind of one of those live and learn. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and create an ad. So you want to hit this down arrow and we're going to create an ad. Facebook already knows that I tried creating an ad. So that's why you saw that screen come up because I had some technical difficulties and I had gone all the way through and it didn't record properly. So unfortunately, that's why it had popped up asking me if I wanted to continue on. So I went out, came back. Here, it knows that I left off. So I'm actually going to start over. Okay. So you're going to choose your objective and what kind of a campaign you want. And you've got awareness, consideration, conversion. So it depends on what you're doing. If you hover over it, you've got this little I for info, and it kind of gives you an idea. So if you're unsure, it gives you an idea of what are you trying to do. Are you trying to get brand awareness? Are you trying to drive traffic somewhere? So traffic could be trying to drive someone to a website, things of that nature. So I'm just gonna click brand awareness. And we're going to continue. We're going to create a new ad set, and I'm going to go ahead and name this as a sample campaign. Then we're going to come down to audience. You have create new or use a saved audience. You can create a specific kind of an audience, and then you can actually save that audience so that it saves you from having to do all of these different steps. You can also upload your CRM, and it will search your database of clients by their email address, and you can create audiences that way. That's getting more technical, and if you're doing something like that and you want to try to do it on your own, I would just suggest going to YouTube. YouTube is awesome, and YouTube will teach you everything. I've learned a lot from it. It's where I've learned a lot of what I do. Also, once I started really advertising and boosting some of my posts off of Facebook, Facebook has sent me emails for something called Facebook Blueprint. And it is videos that teaches you how to do various things. So it teaches you how to do carousel ads. They're very short videos to watch. They're very easy, and they give you an entire walkthrough. So here for our audience, we're going to create a new audience. And right now it's on the United States. So you want to hover over it and click the X to get rid of it. And then a map is going to pop up. So here, since I'm in the Santa Clarita Valley, and I like to just focus on Santa Clarita, I'm going to find Santa Clarita as a city and click on it. It automatically sets everything within a 25-mile radius. So you want to pay attention to kind of the mile radius based on what it is that you're advertising. So the post I just showed you obviously had to do with events and coupons and deals that were in the Santa Clarita Valley. So I didn't do a plus 25-mile radius. However, if I am advertising a new listing in Santa Clarita, I want all of that exposure and I want all of that outreach. So more than likely, I'm going to keep it at 25 miles, or I might even go as far up as 50 miles to get all of the exposure for people from down south that might be moving up to Santa Clarita. For just this sake, I'm going to move it down. And you can see over here, so right now the potential reach is 2.5 million people. And based on how much money per day I want to spend, this is the estimated reach. But I'm going to bring it down to 10 miles. And then over here on the right-hand side, it will start to change my audience size and my estimated daily reach. So now my reach is 410,000 as opposed to 2.5 million people. And my reach is going to be anywhere from 2,800 to 17,000 people, depending on how much money I put behind it. This here is where you can choose age. So you might even, obviously someone at 18 might not necessarily be in the market to purchase something. So we're going to change it to 25. And maybe I only want to do a specific reach or demographic. So I'm going to do 25 to 45. Then you'll notice that once again, so my potential reach is 200,000 people. This is my potential reach per day. And you could leave that as is as you want. It just, again, depends on what specific kind of a post you're doing and what kind of an ad set you want to do. Detailed marketing or detailed targeting, again, if you have specific people you want to reach out to, maybe you want to do something that is, maybe you're working with a lender and you want to do something for VA loans or law enforcement, you can type in VA, you could type in veteran, and when you type it up, then it's got all kinds of different interests that are having to do with veterans. I rodeo and do a lot with the horses. So anybody who has an interest in prorodeo.com. I mean, it's basically endless of what you could do for detailed marketing. I don't do any kind of detailed marketing. I just want this to go out to the 200,000 people that are within that age bracket within Santa Clarita. You can, again, exclude people. If you have something specific and maybe you don't want the realtors to see, you can hit exclude people, and this will then exclude them. So you could type in realtor, you could type in specific companies. I don't want people from Century 21 to see my posts. So you can find Century 21, and you're going to find people who are employed by Century 21, and you can exclude those people if you want. Then we're going to come down to placements, and you want to make sure you edit your placements. With the editing of the placements, then you can ensure you want your ads to show up in people's feeds. You don't want it in any of these other areas. So we're going to uncheck all of that, and once again, it did not change the potential reach in any way. Instagram, I have an Instagram account, and my Instagram account is linked with my Facebook account, so I leave this checked because then it also sends posts over to Instagram. Everything else I keep as is. Then we're going to come down to our budget and schedule. So right now, this is my potential reach, and this is my estimated daily reach because this has it as a daily budget of $5 a day. And it also has it as running the ad continuously. Now, if I was to change this to $20 a day, you can see here that it takes a minute, but it is actually going to change my estimated daily results. So it then changed the results from 1,500 to 9,500 people. You can do a start and end date. So this is for 30 days, but I'm going to only make it 2 days. 2 days at $20 a day. So it's going to start, of course, when I confirm it, and it's going to end on April 18th at 8:01 p.m. And you can decide to put as little or as much money behind it as you want to. Facebook will give you kind of a generic amount that it thinks, but you can just decide what your budget is and set that budget. We're going to hit continue. This here, so right now it's on create an ad. So this is where you would create an ad from scratch. I really like the idea that my coach, Jared James, has taught everyone to do an existing post, to post to your business page and then use an existing post. It just makes it so much easier. It's very time consuming when you're trying to create an ad within it. Can you do it? Absolutely. But you have to be able to take the time to do it. Where when I create the post on my business page, it's just easier to do. So we're going to go over here to use existing post. We're going to come down and select a post. So that's why you have this red kind of negative, because it's saying you have to pick something. So I'm going to use the drop down arrow. And then these are the latest posts that, of course, were on. These are the most recent posts that were on my business page. So we had said I'm going to use this, how to help your pets adjust after a move. Everything else you can go ahead and leave the same. And then, of course, over here to the right, this is just showing you what it looks like. So this is what it would look like as a sponsored ad on someone's mobile newsfeed if they're seeing it from their mobile phone or any kind. This is from a feature phone. Then you can scroll through. This is what it would look like if somebody is viewing it on their desktop. Okay? And then from there, you are going to hit confirm. I'm not going to hit confirm because I don't want to run this ad, and I did this just for a sake of showing you an example of how to do an ad. But you would hit confirm, and then Facebook is going to review that ad, and they're going to make sure that it fits within the rights and responsibilities and all of the Facebook advertising guidelines. And then once they do that, then you will get a notification through Facebook that your ad has been approved, and it will even send you an email as well. It lets you know that your ad has been approved, and then you know that everything is fine. Okay? So that's how you do a Facebook ad. Hopefully this helped you out. And again, I know I had shown some people that you can, a lot of people had asked where I do like my my Facebook intros, or when I'm doing videos, the intros. I had that done on Fiverr.com. And Fiverr.com is where you can have things done. This is everything they do. It's a Fiverr, so it's starts at $5. It goes up from there depending on what you're asking them to do, but it's freelance services. I like it. They've done a lot of things for me. They, Fiverr created, let me go back to my business page. Fiverr created my banners. Fiverr had even created my Just Me in the SCV logo that you see on my cover here. So this was done by Fiverr. The entire thing was done by Fiverr to create my different banners. Just a great website. Then my coach, he's a virtual coach. You can do regular coaching with him as well. I just follow his virtual coaching, and that is Jared James. You can go to connectwithjared.com or jaredjames.com, and he's got some great stuff. You can follow him on YouTube. You can follow him on YouTube. It's amazing. The last thing that I wanted to show some people is if you are a member of SRAR, we do have a free member benefit through Cloud CMA. I love Cloud CMA. Totally love Cloud CMA. I use it for all of my listing presentations and then, of course, buyer tours. It's absolutely amazing. But I do want to show you something from a social media standpoint. And if you go into settings, and if you come here to lead gen, then you have a what is my home worth. So you can post to any of these three. You can post to any of these three social media accounts, and then you can do an ad from that. And once you've created the post on your business page and do an ad from that, people can click the link and they can find out what their home is worth. What happens is when someone clicks the link and when they provide the information so that they can get a CMA created, you get an email that lets you know that someone clicked the link, and it gives you their information. And then also when you are on your CMA list here for Cloud CMA, then you end up having a little icon on your box. Let me find an example right here. So these people here had all requested CMAs, and I know that they came from Facebook. So it's a great way to gauge, who's clicked the link and who wanted a customized CMA. And then, of course, you get their email addresses because it emails them the CMA report, and you can then follow up and ask them if they would like a more detailed report. So that's what I use. I hope that this video serves you well. If you have any questions, please feel free to call or text me. This is my cell phone number, 661-510-3136, and my email address is erikabird, ERIKABIRD, @outlook.com. Bye, everyone.